My name is Justin Kuzmich, and I'm the Real Estate Director for the City of Salem, Virginia. Today, I'm going to talk a little bit about staying connected to taxpayers during social distancing. As many of you guys, our offices have been mandated by the governor that we close to the public. So we're using other means, including phone conversations and emails, primarily to communicate with our customers. What I want to focus today on is a number of tools and features that we offer to customers so that they can be self-sufficient. If you select into our departments, we have a staff of 5 currently. Right now, we have 2 people that are working entirely from home full-time, and then there are 3 folks that are rotating between working from home and working in the office. We put a lot of information on our website in hopes that we can drive people to the website to get the information they need. We also have a number of FAQ questions available on assessment information and the information that we track. You can expand any of these to get the answers or responses to any of those. And we also have the same thing for appeals and Board of Equalizations. This link will take you to the Commission of the Revenues page where you can access information about the tax freeze program and who's eligible. And then we also post our sales right here on the website. So these 2 under commercial are done manually. You can click on any of these, they'll open in a PDF version, and you can click on them, you can download them, or you can print them. This particular one is designed to print on legal paper, but you can look at any of the information, and it's going to have some basic information, including the sale, the size, and some unit of comparison, as well as a little bit of information about the property. We're going to put the newest sales first. And then as you scroll down, you'll see older sales there as well. Same thing on the vacant land. That information is there, and it breaks it out by sale price per square foot as well as per acre. Again, all this information is regarding commercial properties. On the residential side, we break it out by style and then some units of comparison that are relevant to that particular style. So you got your sale price, your price per acre, and your price per square foot. This is land. And then at the bottom of each page is some summary statistics to help summarize the information that's presented in the report. All of these are able to be saved or printed for your use. And the best part about all these residential reports is these are updated the first of every month. They'll grab a rolling 3 years. So the first sale that you'll see in the report is going to be the newest sale. And then it'll go down and show you 3 years worth of sales. Same thing here. This is one-story sales. You can see there's 28 pages of one-story sales that have happened over the last 3 years. So these are a great way to find comparable sales if you're looking within a particular style. And I'll also show you another tool within our property search website where you can hone in on a more specific size range in addition to a particular style. So with that said, we can go to the property search, or if you're on our home page, you can actually just click, we have a button right here that'll take you to our property search. And this is hosted by Vision. So all the data that comes here is updated daily, except for the photos that show. Everything else is going to be updated daily. So as we get deeds from the courthouse, we enter that information into our CAMA system. The next day, that data is changed. As well as any information that is changed by the appraisers, that information is going to show up the very next day on the website. And if you want to, for example, find sales that are similar to this property, once you have the property pulled up, you can click on sales and make sure that your parameters are set in a way that you want. For example, if you want to expand your parameters and look across all neighborhoods throughout the city, staying in your one-story range, you can then hit search and it will give you a list. All of these lists are hyperlinks that will take you to the data page for those particular parcels. And you can sort by any one of these columns if you wanted to see the most recent sales first, or if you wanted to sort it by size range, you can do that as well. You can also export this PDF or export it to a PDF or a CSV if that's something you're interested in. Another reason people like this site is to use the Map It feature, which takes you to the GIS portion of our website. So by default, it's going to zoom to the particular property that you've selected. On the right-hand side of the screen, you're going to see a lot of the same characteristics we just saw on the previous data page. So all that information is there. If you want to turn on different GIS layers, you have that option as well. You can click on, for example, flood zones. So you can see the property is not in the flood zone, but there is a floodway and floodplain that is just to the east of the property. If you wanted to see, for example, what day your trash is picked up, you can see that this is on a Wednesday schedule for this particular property. And if you wanted to see, for example, zoning, you could see that, all right, yellow corresponds with residential single family. So those are some of the GIS layers that are out there that are really useful. In addition to that, we have some tools here for measuring. You can measure distance or area just by clicking on these and then selecting your distance, and it will actually give you the distance, for example, of that particular rear part, which is about 183 feet. There's also an abutters tool. So if you wanted to know all the properties that are within a certain distance of the subject property, you can put in that distance and hit search, and it will give you a list of all the properties that share a boundary within 300 feet of the subject property. I'm going to go ahead and clear that. And you can also print. I'm going to go back here to map it real quick. And right here, from here, it will print. You just can give it a title, a format. You can also, if you hit download, this is the same as save. And you can print, and whatever level of zoom you're zoomed in on, it will print to that scale. So these are nice features to have. And last but certainly not least is another tool that's built in that's called Pictometry. This is a really neat application that allows you to look at updated aerial photography of your subject property. So you can zoom in, and the neat thing for all the folks that have used Pictometry, or now they refer to it as Eagle View, is you can navigate around and look at this property from different angles. So right now you're looking at it from the north, you can look at it from the south, the east, west, or you can look at it straight down from the top. So these are really helpful if, for example, the property is fenced and you can't get into the backyard. You can use this to see if that's a deck or a patio or whatever in the backyard. One of the features that I really like about the version here is to do the dual pane screen. And what this will do is kind of open up two separate windows. And you can do things like make one window older date and time. So you can see, for example, how the neighborhood or how the area developed over, a time period. So right now, this particular side is showing January 31st of 2019 when this flyover was taken. And then this one dates 4 years earlier when they didn't have any paving and none of the houses were built kind of in and around. So clearly they've been very active in this neighborhood or this part of the neighborhood for over the last 4 years. Within each of these windows, you have a number of additional GIS layers, which are really, really helpful to be able to see the same thing. So in one window, in one screen, you can have one set of GIS layers open, and on another one, you can have another set of screen open. So this is a really cool place to be able to get updated aerial photography, as well as to be able to look at older imagery. There's one other set of tools I'd like to share with you guys. If you go to our homepage, and you can open what's called the Salem GIS Open Data Portal. What this is a series of maps and apps that are used to give customers, property owners, information about a specific series of data that they could be looking for. So as you can see here, there's another number of different apps that are designed for finding surveys, location of recycling facilities, downtown parking, available commercial development land, zoning, flood zones, trash collection days, just to name a few. So I want to give you a quick tour of one. This is the Subdivision Map. It used to be you always had to go to the courthouse and find a deed, and in that deed it referenced some type of a map. Well, one of the things that we've done is we've actually had all the deeds or the maps scanned, and they're associated with the actual property. So I'm just going to pull up a property here, which happens to be Roanoke College, which is in the city of Salem. And you can see that as we pull up this parcel, it'll give you some specific information. It'll turn on a map of it, and then it'll give you down here at the bottom all of these different attachments or all of these different plats or maps that have been associated with it. All these open as PDFs. They can be downloaded, saved, or even printed directly from here. And if there is a photo of the property, that will also kind of display here. So this is a nice little tool to be able to go in and find historical maps associated with any parcel. You no longer have to go to the courthouse and do all that digging. All those maps will be right there associated with the parcel. Same thing here. There's a number of GIS layers that can be turned on, as well as multiple years of imagery. So if you want to see an area, how it looked in, say, 1985, some of our earlier aerial photography captures that we have, you can uncheck the 2019 and turn that on. So that is one app that we find ourselves using a lot, because a lot of people want to check boundaries and know where certain property divisions are, or the last time a property's been surveyed, and we find that a really useful tool. Just really quickly, facilities, if you want to know, you can see they start off as Salem, but as you get closer, you can see where all of the City Hall and Farmers Market and other buildings are. Going back, I want to show you two on the next page that are really, really neat. So this is just a deposit of aerial imagery. So you can see really old imagery here. Some of these are what they call storybooks, and they're really neat to give you a visual and to kind of tell you a story as you go from one downtown location to the next. So you can see, you can click on an old photo and read a little bit about it, and you can see how it looks, how it looked historically. And some of these buildings have changed so much. They've been renovated or been rehabbed, and some of them have been burnt down. This is now a covered farmers market, for example, that the city owns. And this is the building I'm in behind it. This is our city hall. So that's a nice tool to be able to use. We also have one related to some historical buildings that are along North Broad Street in our historic district. So this is, you can go page by page and look at every single address, and it'll give you a lot of information. You can click on one. This is a really popular one. Last but not least, I want to show you this Spyglass Map, which I think is really, really cool. What it is it shows you the current imagery, and then in the underline, it actually shows a map that was done in 1873 of kind of our downtown. So you can see where the lot lines were, and the black spaces or black shaded portions obviously represent buildings that were there a long time ago. So I think this is really neat to kind of see how, you know, at one point, you know, the city looked compared to the way it is. So these are some of the online tools that, when used together, have made it easier to stay in touch with our customers and cut down on the number of phone calls, and really eliminate the need to actually come into the office, because a lot of the information is right there at their fingertips for customers to be able to go and get. I hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything that you'd like to see again or given more information about, you can reach us by calling us at 540-375-3058, or you can send an email to realestate@salemva.gov. Those emails will come directly to me, and I will respond to them definitely within 24 hours, usually within an hour. Thank you so much, and appreciate your time. Have a great day.